wehappyfew skirts the line between open-world survival and Bioshock-like atmospheric experience that has a greater focus on melee combat and stealth. Make sure you're taking your joy beforehand or you won't be able to tell a tuttle from a buttle.
Do you think the canister wonders what life's like outside the tube? Of course he'd have to break the tube to get out.
wehappyfew has you exploring this incredibly intriguing world that seems quite magical when the game has something to say, but you'll quickly find that the majority of the open world is just a facade that cannot be explored, sadly. The majority of points of interest during your travels are really only the main quest, side quest, and the occasional dig spot. Everything in between is searching containers and avoiding the convoluted NPC aggression system that seems to never like you no matter the condition. Now this all sounds pretty damning if it weren't for the actual main and side missions being so darn charming and well designed from not only a gameplay perspective, but from a "hey, come in here and check out this part" kind of way.
Oh, player 2, today is just not your day, is it?
This is a really good linear game that has been silly putty stretched over this weird survival open world blueprint that would be better if it just focused on what it does best, which is its actual scripted content, and not the in-between wastelands you travel to get to them. wehappyfew relies heavily on melee combat and stealth. Most all encounters revolve around backpedaling, blocking, and attacking when you see an opening. The occasional sub-weapon can be used as well to do things like distract enemies, damage them, or even snare them, but I found that's usually not worth the effort compared to just a cricket bat to the face. It's not very deep, but the melee combat does have a satisfying weight to it, and there are a few skills in the skill tree that make it enjoyable enough for the majority of the time. Many sections of the game require pure stealth to overcome them, and if you trigger any alarms, you might as well just restart the checkpoint or hope you get lucky and you're able to outrun everybody and find a hiding spot. Neither of these two gameplay systems will change your standards on stealth or melee combat, but they are enjoyable enough to foster the ebbs and flows of your strange adventure.
And now it's time for the Uncle Jack Etiquette Minute. You may be wondering, how can I fit in better in Hamlin Village? Well, it's easy. To get along...
You will not find a huge emphasis on the survival aspects of this title that has a pretty generous hunger, thirst, and sleep meter that was hardly ever a concern for me. Inventory weight posed a far superior foe to any amount of famine or thirst. This at least allows you to better explore the world freely without much constraint, but if these survival aspects are so easy to survive, I ponder their overall worth in what otherwise would be a pretty tightly structured adventure if it dropped the many design decisions influenced by the moniker survival.
With life for noise? Papa George.
The game overall also suffers from a large lack of polish and it could use a few more months of extra patches before it's truly ready for consumer consumption. Also, I can only speak on the PC version on this, but the frame rate would constantly fluctuate all over the place at nearly all times identically on either ultra or low settings. This game is not heavy input or aiming reliant, so this was more of an annoyance than an absolute deal breaker for this style of game. I guess if you're comparing it to the state of the current survival genre, it's right on par. wehappyfew has an incredibly intriguing theme that does have fun sections quite regularly, but all the in-between mediocrity and a poor implementation of certain systems leaves this a very lopsided game that has very joyous highs and downers of lows. This has been Deadite from Boomstick Gaming. If you enjoy my review style, consider subscribing and checking out my Patreon, and as always, thanks for watching.